talk wide receivers on today's episode of Colts Talk presented by Prize Picks. It is a discussion around the Colts right now. It begins with A.D. Mitchell. The Colts traded him away at the deadline last year, and right now, the reports out of Jets minicamp, OTAs, their offseason works, is that Mitchell is shining. He is stepping up. He is becoming their wide receiver too. Sounds like something the Colts could use right about now, right? This is a familiar name, and if we look back to the trade deadline, right? Now, I'll say we were at Chat Sports. We were running the trade deadline news. We were going through everything. I think the Sauce trade was like the first major one of the day and very unexpected, I should add, in general. And I was in one room producing, I think, our Bengals show, talking with our other shows, our Cowboys show. They yelled, Sauce Gardner got traded. Yelled back for what? 2 first-rounders. I thought, wow, that's crazy. And A.D. Mitchell. They yelled back. I thought, unbelievable. And I know so many Colts fans have had the exact same thought. Look, I know Sauce Gardner's his own trade in a bubble. Then there's the first rounders to consider. And now we have to watch Mitchell shine a little bit in New York. We're going to get into all the details, his fit, and a little bit of hindsight, right? We got to talk about it here on Colts Talk. But first, if you're feeling the same way I do, if you wish A.D. Mitchell was still a Colt, do me a favor, like the video, hit that thumbs up button. That will tell me that you're with me on this one, and we'll let everyone else know that we kind of miss A.D. a little bit. It's Colts fans coming together in a way, so be sure to like the video right now. The report from ESPN from, again, Jets, whether it be OTAs or minicamp. Quarterback Geno Smith and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell continued to build their chemistry, with one play illustrating how far they've come. In a 7-on-7 red zone period, Smith made a nice anticipation throw to Mitchell, who ran a crosser in the back of the end zone and made a toe-tapping catch. Continues, Mitchell, acquired in the midseason Sauce Gardner trade with the Colts, feels comfortable now that he has had a full offseason with the team. He's an important player because the Jets need a number 2 option in the passing game to complement Garrett Wilson. I look at that quote right there, and I think to myself, he's an important player because the Colts need a number 2 option in the passing game to complement Alec Pierce, right? You could replace those words, and you'd still be talking about A.D. Mitchell if he was in Indianapolis. And I'll be honest, when he got to New York, he had a pretty good stretch there. He looked good towards the end of the season. I mean, this is a gigantic win for the Jets in this trade, in general, right? I think they're feeling very, very good about the A.D. Mitchell trade. And I'll be honest, this is a guy who's just going to go up, up, up in general, I think, especially in New York. Look, playing with Geno Smith and playing for Aaron Glenn, that's going to be a different animal. How that ends for A.D. Mitchell in general, I don't know. But I thought he was good last year when he arrived in New York, and I definitely plan on seeing that continue. Look, hindsight's 20/20 in these sort of scenarios. Definitely with A.D. Mitchell and any other trade, and we're going to get to another trade later on in the video, so I don't want to be the guy where it's like, yeah, oh man, I wish we had A.D. Mitchell. They really goofed that and keep harping on it because hindsight's 20/20. Man, Mitchell would be perfect right now, though, wouldn't he, at that wide receiver 2 spot? And again, we've shouted out Ashton Doolin a lot here on Colts Talk, and we'll probably continue to do that, but definitely at this point in time, it's kind of hard to watch Mitchell doing what he's doing and hearing this about him. And again, the common reaction when they traded him, when he was traded and A.D. Mitchell, right? That was me, and I know that was a lot of people in the Sauce Gardner trade, especially after Myles Garrett trade. I know a lot of people also kind of in the mix here as well. Ironically, too, like the Colts were okay at wide receiver at the time. That's why they made the trade, because they had Pittman, they had Pierce, who was up and coming, and Tyler Warren, right, added to that mix. Josh Downs kind of felt like they had a plethora, so they let Mitchell go. But again, really hard to digest at this point in time, just because of how talented Mitchell is, and again, how good of a fit he is in that New York situation. And I think, into the future, Geno Smith may be able to really make him shine even more than he already has. So we'll keep an eye on A.D. Mitchell. It's definitely a hard situation to watch as of right now. Today's show is presented by America's #1 sports picks app. That's the Prize Picks app. A lot of excitement right now going on Prize Picks. We've talked baseball, we've talked basketball, we've talked football, because the lineup's so easy to put together. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, and then you lock in your lineup. Lineups similar to this one that we want to just show you. This is a season-long lineup. Jordan Tyson, we're going to go more on his receiving touchdowns. Same for George Pickens. We went more. He's at 7. And T. Higgins, more at 7.5. notice those are all kind of wide receiver 2s, and yet maybe they could be wide receiver 1s, and that's why we went more on all of those there as well. And right now on Prize Picks, a reminder, we have a new user offer for you guys. So if you download the Prize Picks app today with the link in the comments section and description, use code HMA. That's right, code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. We've got the link in the description and comment section to make it easy for you guys. Come on now, take advantage. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. We go from one wide receiver that it's hard to watch thriving somewhere else to another wide receiver thriving somewhere else. Michael Pittman Jr. recently listed as one of the most impactful trades or moves of the offseason by CBS Sports. That's right. And I think we kind of felt that maybe, later on, not right away, in my opinion, because the Colts made that trade and it was in the middle of free agency madness and they only got a 6th-rounder, so it kind of like blew by a little bit. But now I think we're going to see Michael Pittman really fit in well in Pittsburgh, and it might be another situation where the Colts are kicking themselves. Here's the word from CBS Sports. It went under the radar, but the Steelers have a new starter out wide, and they didn't have to give up much for him either. Pittsburgh sent a 6th-round pick to the Colts for wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr., plus a 7th-round pick. Adding a new target for Rodgers was necessary as Metcalf accounted for, DK Metcalf, accounted for half of their receiving core yards last season. Pittman caught a career-high 7 touchdowns in 2025 and had 2 1,000-yard campaigns to his name as he heads to Pittsburgh. I mean, you can see the Pittsburgh fans, the offense, everybody there very, very excited to get Michael Pittman Jr. And the Colts, again, we're going to sit back and watch what he does in the Steel City as a part of that offense, which is why I want you to tell me, will the Colts regret the Michael Pittman Jr. trade? It was free agency. It was money. It was a crazy time, and the Colts kind of dealt him away to save some cash. Will the Colts regret the Michael Pittman Jr. trade? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. All right, Michael Pittman Jr., again, has had some 1,000-yard seasons in his belt, has played pretty well in general, for the Colts, and it's a tough one to look at those stats because he's meant so much to this team over the past couple of years. And I liked him because I said he's a player that's gotten better over time. You don't always see that in the NFL. Guys, doesn't matter what round they are. Is it a linear progression? Are they constantly going up or are they going down, right? And Pittman was a guy that I thought was getting better year by year. Plus, I just think the irony in all of this, the irony of the Michael Pittman Jr. situation, the Colts dealt Michael Pittman Jr. because of cap issues, right? They had to get under the cap to make their free agency moves. It was a deadline. I believe they had like a week during free agency. They just traded Michael Pittman Jr., saved them, the $28 million or so that they saved by trading him away. For me, I just think it's ironic because now where we stand, they have a lot of salary cap space that people want them to use in general. And now the Colts kind of turn their focus. Can they replace his actual numbers, right? You look at where he kind of fit in with the others last season in general. Alec Pierce, obviously a guy you hope will step up. Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, contract year, right? Alec Pierce, new contract. Tyler Warren, sophomore season. Can those guys rack up the stats needed to really feel like that, and we talk about Ashton Doolin and some other options, but those 3 guys in general are going to be the ones. Can you divvy up all the Pittman Jr. yards in general amongst those guys and feel like it's going to happen for the Colts? Now, the other part you're going to miss is Michael Pittman Jr., the leader. You're also just going to miss that voice in the room, that professional, right? The guy that matters to the Colts so much because of what he's doing for the Indianapolis community. And again, in the locker room, right? He's a voice. For me, I know it's the other side of the ball, but I think Sauce Gardner needs to step up in this aspect, make things happen a little bit, look good while he's out there doing it. I'm looking to Sauce now to be a leader for the Indianapolis Colts with Michael Pittman Jr. gone. Reminder, I know everybody's getting excited about, Colts football coming back, and everyone wants to watch in person, which is why we want to give a shout-out to the sponsor of today's show. That is SeatGeek. Give them a huge shout-out. The MLB in full swing, and football is getting closer and closer. You also, on SeatGeek right now, can get World Cup tickets. That's right. I love using the SeatGeek app. It's always the app that I send the link to when me and my friends are talking about going to a game, whether it be the Colts or anything else going on, because SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And, of course, I have a code for you guys right now, and this is whether you're a new or existing user here. So you can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description and the comment section and download the app because that code will get loaded right on there for you. Then you can use it. Thanks, SeatGeek. We're going to talk about a receiver real quick to end the show that's on the Colts. And we need to discuss, do we have a reason to worry about Alec Pierce? It appears his recovery has now gone from about 3 months initially, which is where he was. And I know he was trying to avoid surgery. Then he got it, and it'll just be 3 months. Now we're looking more towards 5 or 6, as you might have seen the videos of Alec Pierce at OTAs or minicamps, hobbling around, limping around, like struggling, right? That has been a thing for Alec Pierce in general. And as I said, new contract. We read that quote from him not too long ago where Alec Pierce essentially said, with a new contract, I'm going to be a new player. I'm going to be a bigger, better player wherever I go. And that was before he signed with the Colts. Well, now we look to, in general, the Colts at this point in time. We're hoping that Indy can lean on Alec Pierce to really guide things. And look, Michael Pittman Jr. to Alec Pierce, that's a relevant discussion to have. You look at the wide receiver depth chart, Downs in a contract year, I'm expecting big things. We talked about that wide receiver 2 or opposite Alec Pierce wide receiver spot in general at this point in time. And, look, for Alec Pierce, as of right now, it looks like he's going to come back in August. The word is late training camp, so we'll see exactly where that lands for him. You don't love the videos of him still hobbling and looking not right as he walks around OTAs hanging out. But let's not panic just yet at this point in time. We don't know. It seems like he's been pretty locked into this recovery. He got the surgery so he could recover properly. Maybe he misses training camp. And I think at that point, we still may just need to be careful as far as not panicking in that situation. But again, it's okay to be disappointed. It's a disappointing thing in general with Alec Pierce at this point in time. I think we just need to keep an eye on it. That's where we're going to kind of be at. What's his status? What does Shane Steichen say? What is everyone else saying at this point in time? But as far as disappointing goes, with Alec Pierce, new contract, new team, leaning on Alec Pierce, this is not the start you want. This is not the offseason you want. It's okay to be disappointed and say this isn't what we wanted. Big season ahead. That's what's coming. And that's why it's a little disappointing. Ahead of a big year for Alec Pierce, we'll keep an eye on the injury here on Colts Talk.